preparing startups for an introduction to their first big client. I'm Tonya Hall for ZDNet and Tech Republic, and joining me is Vanessa Liu, Vice President, SAP.io Foundries North America. Welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you so much for having me, Tonya.
Absolutely. What does SAP.io Foundries do, and what is your role there?
Yes, so SAP.io is the early stage venture arm for SAP, the large German technology company. And we have a fund and we also have Foundries where we work with external startups. On the Foundry side is where we work with startups in a very founder-friendly, no equity way through programs that are 3 to 4 months long per program in 8 locations around the world. And we do typically 2 programs a year. And so it's the whole idea of the Foundries that we have is about building out an ecosystem of startups to work with. And on the side, we also have a fund where we make investments in early stage companies with small checks.
Describe your approach to working with startups and how you bring innovation to SAP customers.
Yeah, so at SAP, we know that we touch so many of our clients. We touch over 400,000 clients around the world in a myriad of industries. And so much of what we do helps other companies run. And we know that we can't do everything. And a lot of our clients have acute pain points that they want us to solve for. And by having an ecosystem of startups to work with, we can bring that type of innovation to them when they need it. And it also allows us to look at innovation in a very different way, because at SAP.io, we actually have a specific focus and specific mandate, I should say, where 40% of the companies that we either fund or accelerate should be founded by either women or diverse founders, because we know that diversity of thought, diversity of approaches is critically important, especially now that all of these new technologies are coming into the foray.
What are the common challenges you find facing the startups you assist?
So a lot of them being early stage, they have a product in the market. They already have customers and they're looking to scale. And so these are typically very under-resourced teams. They're usually about anywhere between 5 and 30 people. They are going quarter by quarter, even month to month in terms of survival and trying to get capital and also revenue through the door. It's a lot for the startups to think about and stretches their teams really thin. So talent is always an issue. Obviously, getting funding is always an issue, and getting access to customers is always an issue. And that's what we do at SAP.io by working with the companies. We're actually giving them access to our customers where it makes sense. We're giving them mentorship in terms of how do you go to market. And we're also teaching them about how do you scale an enterprise business, because we know that that is not straightforward at all.
What do you look for when you evaluate startups for inclusion in a cohort?
So we're looking, first and foremost, can we help them? Are they in areas that are of strategic relevance to SAP? Because the last thing that we would want is for a startup to come in here, spend time with us, and then realize that this was the worst time they ever had, just from a time resourcing perspective. Really, time is the most critical resource that you have. And so that's the first thing that we look for. Secondly is, do we think that our customers are going to really relate to the technology at hand? Like, we want to make sure that the problem that's being solved for is one that we really believe in and that we believe is great. And the third is, we look at the founders and the founding team. Are they coachable? Are they going to be people that we can really work with? Because it's like having children, or I should say it's like adopting children. You want to be able to work with companies that you know you're going to just really be frank with, and at the same time be able to take the feedback.
Naturally, you want to achieve a need and a solution fit when you bring startups to potential clients. Do you also consider the fit between the cultures of the two groups in the mix?
Absolutely. So being a very large company, we have 100,000 people. Like, when it comes to speed, that's not necessarily our middle name. But that's like what startups are really known for: the nimbleness, the being able to make decisions really quickly. Part of what we're trying to do is to bridge the differences in terms of approaches. And we know that a lot of it involves having an open mind and knowing what to expect when it comes to working with large corporates. Like usually startups, when they come to us, they know that there's like a certain type of culture they need to bring into the foray. They do have to know a little bit in terms of working with enterprise customers, but we know that if they have the patience, they can just get a lot of traction by working together with us.
What advice can you offer the first-time entrepreneur as they embark on their maiden startup journey?
So much of it is be relentless about that problem that you're looking to solve. Like that is at the end of the day what's going to make a really big difference. I think that's like the number one piece of advice. Like really just keep that at the center. And then number two, find the best people to work with you. Like it's at every business out there, if you boil it down, it's about the people that you hire, the people that you just do business with on a day-to-day basis. And so to have values, the right values, so you can attract and retain and develop the right people and also do business with, is of utmost importance. And we actually spend a lot of time around that. Like the soft part of building a business is something that people don't really talk about, but that actually is what creates a lot of value.
Vanessa Liu, Vice President, SAP.io, Foundries North America. If somebody wants to connect with you and find out more about this work that you're doing, how can they do that?
Yes, you can reach me on Twitter at Vanessa W. Liu, or also on LinkedIn. You can find me, Vanessa Liu. There are a lot of Vanessa Lius, but I'm the one at SAP.
Perfect. Thanks again. And if you guys want to find more of my interviews, you can do that right here on ZDNet or Tech Republic, or go to my website, tonyahall.net. I've got links to all my social sites. Thanks for watching.